Hey, welcome back to another video. This is not an exoskeleton update. Unfortunately, I wish I had more to show off. But I had some people at my school figure out that I make these videos. And I walked into class one morning, and the dude who sits next to me was like, "Hey, is that a flamethrower sitting on top of that shelf that you have in your room?" I was like, "How do you know that?" He was like, "I watched your video." I was like, "That's awesome." He said it was in his recommendations. And I was very proud of that. And so I figured if anyone is interested, I'm going to show off some older projects that I made before I started this channel. If I can set this down somehow. There we go. I'm trying to be careful with it so I don't break the cable, which would be bad because then I'd have to buy a new one, and I can't afford that. But so I'll be back in a minute when I get all these laid out. Okay, so here's everything laid out. I'm gonna start from the left and work my way to the right. So this is not that obvious, but it's actually a portable air conditioner that I made a few years ago actually. It has two modes, it has high and it has low, and it's actually pretty effective. I use it for cooling down hot glue and for hardening super glue. So then I guess I'm going to start with the pencil. I use this daily actually. So the glass's rims, the frames have magnets on both sides, and the pencil has a magnet here, and then it's just metal right there. So I put this on my head, like wearing it, like when you'd wear sunglasses on your head but not in front of your eyes. So that's how they sit on my head, and then I have the pencil there. I have not lost my pencil since. I used to lose it all the time. So this is kind of like the OG of all my stuff. This was the first kind of dangerous project I ever made. I took apart a fly swatter and created this instead, and it works. I use it to charge high voltage capacitors and different things, and this is kind of what started it all. It was originally supposed to be like an Iron Man taser hand. Those were the days. And so then obviously the flamethrower, that video's up there. I went to use it the other day and the cable exploded off and I lost this whole tank worth of propane. I was not happy. But that was the very first Freefall Industries logo right there. Yep, Nerf gun turned flamethrower for a school how-to project. Not my wisest decision, but it was awesome. Made my own phone case, Freefall Industries logo, the new one, if anyone's curious on what it looks like. Future project, Iron Man repulsor. It's gonna light up for like a Halloween kind of costume kind of thing. I made a jet engine a few years ago. It's just a motor and a turbofan blade. It works pretty well. It's pretty cool for a desktop kind of thing. I'm going to build a light up arc reactor. 3D printed this from Thingsverse. This is probably one of the more useful things I've made. It is a USB fan, and I put it on top of my family's Xbox. And the Xbox, when you usually run an Xbox, it's like it's hot to the touch. But when I use this, it's cool to the touch. And then the rule with electronics is when it's cooler, it runs better, it performs better, and then it's gonna last longer. So definitely one of the most helpful things I've made. One of the most probably painful projects I've ever gone through. Not mentally taxing or physically taxing, but literally painful because I got shocked every time I tried to use it while building it. Now it works fine, but it's a kind of, like an electric fist. So when you press the button down by the thumb, it charges these two negative ones, and then the one in the middle is positive. So it won't harm the thing you're punching, but it'll run 1500 volts through whatever you're punching. Then y'all have already seen the Black Panther claws. These are actually these. Believe it or not, these things are like stupidly sharp. And so that's what that is. Prototype for folding armor. Sits up at the top of your arm, then folds out. I designed and printed my own iPhone 11 Pro just to fool people, and I have to say, I fooled way more people than it should have. This is nicknamed the coin trick because inside of this is a high voltage capacitor. So when someone catches the coin and they touch both sides, 1500 volts. This is probably my favorite. It has a high voltage capacitor on the inside, and it can charge via a wall outlet like over there, or you can charge it using the high voltage thing over there. And that's about it. That's most of my projects, and except for one. One is probably what got me started heavily into engineering. It's not the flamethrower, not this. It wasn't any of the other crazy things I've done. It was a backpack. So last year for science fair, I built a backpack that also functioned as a desk. And I have to say, that's where it all started. And now, that backpack frame, the steel frame, is now going to be part of the exoskeleton. So it's kind of like a passing of the torch, but with a steel frame. And that's most of my projects. There's a few of them that I've lost or got confiscated for various reasons, mostly safety issues, but that's about it. And thanks for watching. Have a nice day.